Hi everyone, welcome back to Elbow Books. I'm Ellie. Today I'm doing my mid-month haul for you guys and let's just jump into it. I have been putting off filming this haul for a couple of reasons. The last 2 weeks, this is kind of the main reason, I've kind of had like a really big wave of depression hit me. Obviously being in lockdown, in self-quarantine. I've been in here for 3.5 weeks I think now, and the only person I've seen is like the mailman through the window. So yeah, I've definitely been struggling with that, and that's why I haven't really been posting any videos, because I don't really want to get up in the morning, let alone, you know, put on like proper clothing and you know, brush my hair and stuff like that. So that's kind of the main reason. And then I kind of got it in my head that I needed to read some of these books before I hauled them, which I don't know why I thought that, because like I very rarely do that. I'd say I read maybe like half of the books that I buy in a month in the next month, and then others kind of like struggle through. So yeah, I don't know why I had it in my mind that I needed to read these before I hauled them, because yeah, I don't do that. But yeah, here we are today, and I'm gonna share them with you. The way that I've kind of split this one up, because it's a little bit of a weird book haul, they don't really all go together. I've basically just done like Aussie books and non-Aussie books. So let's start with the non-Aussie ones, because there are only a couple of those ones. First up, we have some Agatha Christie. So we have Three Act Tragedy and Death in the Clouds, which are the next two books that I need in the Poirot series. You don't have to read Poirot in order, but I have decided to after having read 5 or 6 of them out of order. I am slowly collecting these editions put out by Harper, so I will probably order some more of these in the next couple of months. As I go through them, I've got a whole bunch that I need to replace because they're old beat up copies that are like, they can still be read, but they're very like small writing and it's difficult. But yes, we've got these two. Next up, we have Sharks in the Time of Saviors by Kawai Strong Washburn. I bought this one like completely on a whim, and then in the like 3 or 4 days that it took to arrive, I saw about like 15 different people talk about how this was a book to watch out for this year. Different like bookshops were posting about it, and blogs, and on Bookstagram and all this sort of stuff. So I'm really happy that I bought it. This is set in Hawaii in 1995, which is the year I was born, and we'll see how I go with this one, because it is about sharks, and sharks are my biggest fear. So I'm hoping, it says that he gets saved by sharks, so I'm hoping there's no shark attacks, because then I'm good. This one I have been wanting for, I think it came out in 2017, and I wanted to buy it then, but it was in the big format, and I hadn't really seen anyone talk about it, so I didn't want to spend $33 on it, and you know, I wasn't sure because it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. But this is Women of the Dunes by Sarah Main. So this is set in Scotland's west coast, in a town called Ulanus, perhaps. And the main character is an archaeologist. It just sounds really cool, and I like archaeology. I wanted to be an archaeologist for a while, and then just kind of realised that no, I just want to be a writer. So yeah, I think this will just be like a fun read, because it'll be great to compare to this one. This is The Grief Keeper by Alexandra Villasante. This is a YA. It is about this young girl named Marisol who has moved to the US from El Salvador illegally, and she and her sister get found. But it's kind of like a fantasy-ish. So she gets to stay in the US by agreeing to become a grief keeper, someone who takes the grief of another into her own body, relieving them of their pain as she lives through it. So, this one is also LGBTQ+, I believe. It mentions that she falls in love with a girl, and that's why they're caught. And I believe there is another girl later on. But I've just been really interested in reading Latinx authors lately. And yeah, I think it'll just be a good read. I mean, it's going to be sad. It has the word grief in there. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Aussie. Let's start with this one. This one I have read. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this word. It is an Indigenous word. I think it's... yeah, I'm not sure. But it's by Charmaine Papertalk Green. I tried to find someone pronouncing this in a podcast or an interview or something like that, but I couldn't find anything. So yeah, this is a poetry collection. Like I said, already read it. Obviously I'll be talking about it more in my wrap up, but I really enjoyed it. Next up, we have a couple of new releases that I'm really excited for. Starting with The Animals in That Country by Laura Jean McKay. So this is a book about a woman and there's a pandemic going on, and one of the symptoms is that you can understand animals, and she's been able to talk to animals for a while. So I've heard amazing things about this one. I've heard that it's also kind of messed up. So really excited to give this one a go. Probably not this month because I am already accidentally reading a book about a pandemic. I started one not remembering that it was about that, and then I just got too invested in the characters and I was like, but I want to know what happens, and it's a library book and I know the libraries aren't opening indefinitely at the moment, but I still want to get it read. So that one's probably going to be later. Okay, sorry if this shot is a little different to the last one. My camera just randomly cut out. Anyway, we were up to The Coconut Children by Piano Fan. This one was the well-read pick this month. This is a book subscription service that I subscribe to. I mentioned last time they send out little reading notes. They also send out a little letter letting you know why they picked the book. And I also got a letter from Vivian, which is also a really nice touch that they do. This book is the author's debut, and she's 19. And this is written about her father's experiences leaving Vietnam. In Vietnam and leaving Vietnam, I think. Next up, and last of the new releases, we have The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. This one is about this young girl whose father works in the scriptorium, which is where they are gathering words for the first Oxford dictionary. And then she begins stealing words, and that's kind of where I'm up to right now. I started reading it. I'm only 20 pages in, so this is set in 1888 at the moment, but it talks about going into the women's suffrage movement and the Great War looming, so I think it's going to kind of skip forward a few years in a few chapters time. And last up, I have these three, which are all by the same author. Yes, I'm very excited because it is Sean Tan. So let's start with the big one. I don't buy Sean Tan's books frequently. I really love him. I absolutely adore him. I think his stuff is incredible. But his books tend to be more on the expensive side. So I own a couple that I've kind of gotten over the last year and a half. So yeah, I bought these three because they were heavily discounted. Still kind of expensive though. They were still at the I don't know, $25 mark. But anyway, this is Sketches from a Nameless Land, The Art of the Arrival. So The Arrival is one of his books. It's possibly one of my favorites at the moment. And yeah, this is just what it sounds like. This is really hard to show. How do primary school teachers do this shit? So yeah, it's got his sketches in there, and he obviously talks a little bit about how he came up with the ideas. You can kind of see it there. And yes, I'm really excited to have this. Next up we have The Bird King, an artist's notebook. So this is a similar kind of thing. So Sean Tan does a lot of creatures and obviously animals that actually exist. So we've got a bear here, and we've got what looks like a dragon and a polar bear. I don't know. So yeah, this is a bunch of his sketches, and again, he's talking about what led him to create them. Some of these do come from his other books as well, and yeah, I could honestly just quite happily put any of these on my wall. So there's that one, and then this one is this might be the one I'm most excited for. This is The Singing Bones. I have wanted this one forever. This one also has a foreword by Philip Pullman, and it's just a beautifully put together book to start with. It has these very simple wine colored end papers, but it's textured. It's it entertained me. That was all it took. So this one is fairy tales, and Sean Tan has created little sculptures of little creatures. So it's a one-page fairy tale, and then yeah, a sculpture. So this is Briar Rose. This beautiful rose here. Yeah, and like I said, I just love everything this man does. Snow White and Rose Red. So very excited for that one. I'm also currently reading a fairy tale collection, so that's probably going to be another one that's a month or so away from being read, but I'm still really excited. And yeah, that's part one of this haul. I feel like part two might be slightly bigger, because I made an order at Book Grocer and I got quite a few from there, and I'm still waiting on some books to come from Better World Books, so hopefully they'll arrive by the end of the month. But I'm trying to stop with the buying a little bit until I have read. Until I get back into reading, because I've been in a slump while I've been feeling like this. So yes, I'm happy that this haul is done, and I'm not gonna promise that. Actually, I think I do have a video for later this week that I filmed at the start of the month, but otherwise I'm not quite sure when I will have a video up. I'm trying not to push myself, because that's always going to be my motto with depression and anxiety, is to push myself and to keep going. And sometimes I just need to kind of sit, and I'm still doing things, but I'm doing things that are relaxing to me, like cross stitch. I'm doing a lot of cross stitch. I am stitching away my sadness. But yeah, I will see you all when that video goes up. I think it might actually be on Wednesday, but I might push it back. We'll see how I feel on Tuesday night. So I might see you Wednesday. I might push it back to Friday. Who knows? But I'll see you all at some point.